Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at the BR Class 31.
Welcome to this Class 31-1 diesel-electric locomotive in British Rail Blue livery. This brief introduction will cover shunting wagons around a yard and manual operation of junctions.
So,
Climb aboard to get started.
this is the blue edition of the Class 31-1. They have BLU in the title. This is a DLC from Train Sim World. It is an official DLC. It's not a, I don't think there are any actual third-party mods yet for this game. But basically, you purchase the engine. It's $19.99, and they give you the engine, a tutorial on how to start and run the engine, like what we got going right here, and then 3 new missions. Plus, the engine gets added into the timetable. The timetable is kind of what makes this game an unlimited, forever playing game, because you can pick a train service any time of the day, all day long. There are other services running, so you will not be alone on the tracks. So it pretty much makes this train simulator versus the older version unlimited. You can just grab a service whenever and go play. And I like that about Train Sim World. I think that that's a pretty cool service that they offer, so that you can kind of play whenever. But this DLC in particular is for the Tees Valley line. So don't buy this unless you have the Tees Valley line already. If you have Manchester or like the Manchester to Leeds line or some of the other British lines, this engine will not be available specifically for Tees Valley. So let's go ahead and get started with the mission. But we're going to walk around this engine and take a look at it. The details are incredible. It is gorgeous. Just like any other product that they release, they put their heart into it and they make it, very fully featured, very rich looking. It's high end. They take out all the stops when they make these engines. They make them look gorgeous. So that is our walk around. Let's go ahead and hop up into the cab. He probably will talk to us as we're getting in, but once again, in top-notch interior. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact that it's beat down. It's not like a sparkling new engine. It's seen a few years of use.
Activate the locomotive control desk as indicated.
Okay, turn that on. Set the reverser to engine only. Set the train brake to full service. Okay, now set the train brake to running. I don't want application running. Wait a moment for the brake pressure to come off. That's what they're asking us right there, the 40. The brake pressure is releasing off the wheels, off the bogies. So once again, I do like it. A very simple cab layout. This engine is very simple to operate. There's not a lot to it. I got some switches here. These don't do anything. Foot warmer. Oh, there we go. It is cold today, so we'll turn that on. I like the fact that you hear it. That's pretty cool. Headlights. Let's see. They're probably back. No. The route indicator lights.
We'll be coupling to the wagons ahead and then moving to the adjacent track to couple to the second set of wagons.
Engine room light. Oh, they took away the controls. Okay, so they want us to put the reverser to forward.
Use the throttle.
I know how to do those things. Actually, I'm going to leave those off because this train's going to be going the other way anyway. Instrument light switch off, cab light on. That's cool. I love those light up instruments. It looks very... I don't know why I always think of Russian when I think of those, because it's not. It's something that all nations have, but they look Russian.
Reduce the power to 0 and allow the locomotive to coast towards the wagons.
Sir, yes, sir. Throttle off.
If you stop short, release the brake and apply power again.
All right, I will. It's interesting. I have my headset on, and The sounds are really good. It sounds like you're in a real train. I've noticed too, one of the things that they've added over the last couple, maybe year for Train Sim World is that the cab actually rocks around a little bit too now. It's pretty straight right now because we're going slow, but it will rock around. Whoops, I stopped all the way. I want to jam this into the train. That's what they have buffers for. Okay, so we're going to turn the local brake up more so I don't get killed when I get out there. And we're going to... Oh, they want me to use the train brake to stop at the wagons. Oops. None of this local brake stuff.
This locomotive is fitted with screw-link couplings. These require the driver to leave the cab and manually couple the vehicle.
I know. Screw-link couplings.
Climb down from the cab and attach the coupling between the vehicles.
Oh, Lord. Let me get out. Turn the train brake off because we don't need that now. Or the engine brake, I mean. Jump! There we go. Screw-link coupled. What a pain in the butt that is.
Return to the driver's seat to deactivate the cab controls.
And now we need to turn the cab. What we're doing right now is we're switching over to the other end of the engine. So we're gonna. We have to sit to do this, really. Set the train brake to emergency, and then that'll let us put it in the shut off. And deactivate the master key. There we go. Change ends. You got it. Tick, tick, tick. I love that. Climb up the steps. And close the door. Now they probably won't do the same thing.
It's now time to move to the adjacent track and couple to the remaining wagons.
Sir, yes, sir. So master key switch on.
Set the controls as before in
Engine
preparation to move.
And full service. Nope. Running. There we go. And we need to wait for the pressure to come off. My neighbor next door is redoing their roof here in England, and they burn the tiles in the backyard when they're done. And for whatever reason, they smell like jet fuel. It's a good smell. I love the smell of jet fuel, so I'm doing this tutorial right now, and I'm smelling jet fuel, and it's or like train engine fuel, and it's like heightening my realism as I'm playing. I'm like, I can even smell it. I can smell the oil and the fuel, like. Oh Lord, but yeah. So it's a good-looking engine. Set the reverser to
beyond
forward.
the junctions ahead. Set the direction.
On two of the trains, I ride on the Saltburn train, the Tees Valley line, and then I also ride on the Manchester train when I'm coming here. So it's pretty cool. Why are we not moving? Oh, the brakes are still releasing. Oops. All right, we don't want to put the engine in the yellow, so there we go. So you'd think the chances are small, but actually two of the routes that they have here in England I actually ride on with some frequency. You know, I've been on the Trans-Pennine from Leeds to Manchester 3 or 4 times now.
Reduce the power to 0 and allow the locomotive to coast along the track.
Oh yeah, okay, coast. More power, less power. There we go.
If you stop short, release the brake and apply power again.
I have the feeling that we're not going to stop short. Probably should start braking though, I would imagine. You want to click in at about 2 knots, or 2 miles per hour. 2 knots. 2 nautical miles per hour. We don't measure it by that. You don't want to just slam into the other train. I don't see that. You know, it's funny here. It's hazy. I don't see the Cleveland Hills. You know, they're pretty amazing. They call them hills. They're really almost like mountains. And when you see them in the snow, like when the snow falls on them, they really do look like mountains because they get like they look like you're at the top of the Rocky Mountains. It's pretty cool. Just a beautiful area. It's funny because it's pretty depressed, like from a financial standpoint. Like there's a lot of these steel mills that we're working at have gone out of business. So there's still a gas plant, like a chemical plant called ICI that's in business, but the steel works are closed. And lots of people lost their jobs when that happened. So this area of England is pretty rough shape right now. A lot of unemployed people. Still, there's decent employment. It's not super high. It was like maybe like 4% are unemployed. It's not, you know, but it's enough that, you know, it's a rough area.
Climb down from the cab and attach the coupling between the vehicles.
Yeah. All right. Fine. I will. Get back in the engine cab. Hop out. We're gonna walk down. Jump out. What's that? Did I forget something? Like, you didn't put the brake on. Just making sure there's not a train whistling along these tracks here that I'm going to get crushed. $10 yards. 6 yards. Ta-da!
It's now time to run the locomotive around the train. On the way back to the cab, uncouple the wagons from the locomotive.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, fine. Handbrake. I like the rock sounds. Like crunch, crunch, crunch. All right, so we're going to run the locomotive around the train. Climb up the steps. Back into our class 31. And they make us sit, so I can't close the door. Set the reverser to forward. Okay. Put some power on. We won't move because the bogies are still locked, so we need to wait. Yeah. So once again, thank you to Dovetail Games for allowing me to get a free copy of this. I definitely am going to enjoy it and be playing it. And you know, like I said, you know, we kind of got to look at evaluation a little bit. What is it worth, you know, to you? DLC prices on the train sim have never been inexpensive. Putting it politely. They're not for the poor man. And coming from farm sim where people complain about, you know, a massive DLC with like 50 tractors costing, you know, well, not 50. Like this, for example, in the last iteration of farm sim, just to give you guys kind of a reference, the last farm sim DLC cost, I think it was $19.95. It included 35 tractors, harvesters, pieces of equipment, you know, that kind of stuff, balers, all kinds of equipment, and it was $19.99. This is $19.99, and it includes one engine, and so you have to kind of like balance that. It gives you new scenarios to play with. A new engine to add pretty much all the time to your works. So you kind of have to figure out, is that worth it to you? To me, it's kind of expensive, but I do think that it's obviously it's really well done, and that's how much they all cost for Train Sim World. So it's not like a surprise. So I mean, you kind of have to just weigh in your head like what. That's what they charge for this thing. Stop at location beyond the junction. Beyond the junction. Which junction are we stopping at? Okay, we're beyond the junction. Okay, all right. So we're gonna stop here. Take the throttle off.
Climb down from the cab, walk over, and operate the indicated manual junction lever.
And once again, you can't undervalue the fact that you get 3 new. I mean, they only give you like 3 or 4 scenarios with the route. So now you have 3 more scenarios, including with this engine in it. So that that's valuable in itself. Plus, you have this training mission, which is much longer than the standard training mission. So that's pretty cool. They're giving us actually something to do while training in the engine. So you just kind of have to weigh that whole. Dang it! They still won't let me do the door. I don't like the fact that they're locking controls. They shouldn't do that. Set the reverser. Get moving. Reverser off. No. Reverse, yes. Brakes off. And turn the locomotive brake off. Throttle 1, throttle 2. Put that window up, it's cold. I'm going to coast for a little bit. So you have to weigh all those things. And once again, with the services, and that's something that's new for this version of the game, you get pretty much unlimited missions with any engine that you buy. So I can pick, I go into services, I pick the weather and time of day, or the weather and the, like the visibility and all that stuff. And I pick which engine I want to use. And then it gives me a list of like 400, not 400. There are like 30 different trains that go over the 24-hour period. Which train do you want to drive and which service? And you just grab a service. And so, the play, I don't want to say it's unlimited, but you get, 24 hours worth of services with this engine. So if you want to run this engine or one of the other engines, you can. And that gives you a lot of playability. I think that is a, is it worth it? I think so. I really do. Once again, these are, super well done. The engine's absolutely gorgeous, and so I think it is worth it. It just, to me, it's a little bit pricey compared to what I'm used to. However, if I look at prices of like World of Tanks, where a single tank runs anywhere from $10 to $70. Once again, the price is not that bad. You get a train engine for $19.99, plus some new scenarios and added gameplay. So, once again, you got to kind of balance that in your head, if it's worth it to you or not. I know some people are going to say it's, like I said, with Farm Sim, I'm always shocked when people complain on Farm Sim about the prices of the DLCs, because they're like, it's $19 and it's just tractors. Yeah, but it's 35 tractors. Here it's $19 to get one engine. So, it's a little bit of a sticker shock when you come to this game, and there's so much more. But like I said, this is really cool, and it's well done. So is it worth it? Hey, if it's an engine you love or a route that you love, then yeah, for sure. I think so. I think it's well done, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for not necessarily cost, but have they done a good job putting this together? Are you getting your money's worth for $19.99? And I think compared to the pricing of the other DLCs, yeah, absolutely. This is really well done, and it is worth the upgrade. So, all right, we're going to stop at this location. Especially if you're a British train enthusiast. It is a unique engine. I've never seen one like it. It does not look the same as any of the other trains that I've seen, any of the other British trains. It's different looking. Oh no! I was just trying to. Oh well. Anyway, so that is the load last checkpoint. I don't think we have to do this, but anyway, this has been fun to take a look at this engine. Once again, it is different than the ones that we've seen before, and I think that it is worth the money. I've reloaded the scenario, and I like this view. I didn't look down top. It's just fun. I come from America, obviously, and I'm used to seeing American trains, and they're just the British design is just so different and cool. Like I think the engines are almost like space age looking. They just have a different, unique look to them, and this is one of the examples. I love that exhaust vent on the roof, and then the way that the diesel exhausts out to the sides, like one to the left, one to the right. It's just so cool. You can hear the thrum of those other two engines there. So we need to put the brakes on now because I don't want to make the same mistake twice. There's the red signal that I passed right there. Well, there's another train coming through too, and that's why we would have failed that. There's a train right there. Hey, train. So let's finish up this scenario. No, not emergency. Full service.
Climb down from the cab, walk over, and operate the indicated manual junction lever.
Oh, again? Fine. All this train action is exciting. Got trains to our left, trains to our right. Train brake release. We can't go anywhere yet. Release that brake. I think if you hold release, it'll release faster, but I could be wrong. It's still going really slow. Oh, come on.
Ike, this takes too long. Put your window up, it's cold.
Now my feet are hot. Now my feet are cold. I'm going to turn the foot warmer on. There we go. Full speed ahead. Now here in Europe, I think in general, but also in England, they don't use their horns much. Like it's kind of a last minute or last resort type thing, or only in certain spots. I think they really try to keep the noise levels lower. I know like with the police and ambulances, they do this a little bit in America too. If there isn't a lot of traffic, they don't run the sirens. Here in England, you rarely hear, at least in this area, you rarely hear sirens in Middlesbrough. They keep them off until they're like right at an intersection. And it's like, and then they go back off again. As my wife calls them, mean-aws. I'm like, you couldn't call them that in America because they don't mean-aw. They woo-woo. All right, slowly but surely, inch by inch. We're connecting up to this rusty car. Thunk.
Climb down from the cab and attach the coupling between the vehicles.
Yeah. I know why you pulled me over. Okay, so I'm getting down they let me? Nope. Can't close the door, as usual. Put this on shutdown, okay. Come on, shut down. Reverser off. Master key off. Foot heater.
Good work.
Oh,
That concludes this introduction.
dang.
More details on the operation of this locomotive can be found in the manual.
So that is our first look at the CL31 Blue One. And this is a cool engine. Like I said, you kind of have to decide for yourself whether it's worth it or not. It's not any more expensive than any other DLC for Train Sim World. Less expensive than some routes. It is designed for the Tees Valley route, so you have to have that also. I think that this, I earned a gold medal, and I think that this DLC earns a gold medal. It's really well done. It's a gorgeous engine. I didn't see any flaws. And I definitely have played it using some other scenarios. Once again, if you go into your settings, and I'll show you this, just to help you out here. Replay module, load list, main menu. Nope. Hang on. Let's see. I don't know if it adds any additional journeys. Yeah, it does. So there's a BR journey here. It kind of shows you your Tees Valley line journey. Continue your journey along Tees Valley. So it has different things here, but also if you go, this is where it really comes in play. We have some scenarios. You have 3 new scenarios. You have Cement Circle, Tank Trouble, and Last Resort. And these all include the new Class 31 1 BLU. And then we also have let's see, where is it? Sorry, my back. The timetable is what I was looking for. We have, you can pick the engine here, the 31-1, and spring clear. Spring cloud. You can see the different weather things. You guys have seen this before. You can say precipitation up. You can make it rain on a sunny day, that kind of stuff. How wet is it outside? Is it super wet or dry? You can make it snowy. Anyway, so we picked that, and then we're going to continue. And then you just pick a time where you want to go, and it shows you the different things that are available. So here we have 7:30 a.m., 8:35. This train's going. There's a reverse train in the runaround loop. That's all you're going to do on that one. Saltburn to Bishop or Auckland, Tees Yard to Eastgate, Tees Yard to Eastgate. Yeah, Tees Yard, Eastgate. They're going back and forth, so you got a train that's running back and forth here. Anyway, so you have all these different services that are available. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review / look at the Class 31 1 BLU for the Tees Valley line. I think this is a nice add-on, and it's a decent price. It's not crazy expensive, but it is worthwhile. They did a nice job with this, and it's a great looking engine. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this look. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up, voice up. See you next time. Bye.